It's Doomsday, y'all. Happy birthday, Doom. I thought to celebrate his life, I'll go on a tangent about his music and how it influenced me, so stay tuned. Fuck it, I'm putting it on and going outside. It's a hot day, beautiful weather, and the mask is shining, man. I don't give a shit what people think. I said I'll never take this mask outside, but fuck it, gotta do it for Doom. Yeah, and it's weird being in this mask. I don't know about you. Like, you can get this mask like on eBay and shit, so. But it's quite a good replica. Apart from these, they should be longer and more bulky, and also the sides, the cheeks. But and for that reason, I found new shoes today. Adidas. Reminds me of the days I used to be sponsored by them. And I love that Doom was, like, his son was into skateboarding, or is into skateboarding. And he's, like, I think there was, like, boards that says Doom on them. He was, like, not into skateboarding, but I know that his lyrics was, like, one of the tracks was, like, he said something like, kick lyrics like kickflip off the beat track. And that in that song, I really found like he was like using the kind of like the skateboarding slang, and that's how I knew like this guy is like, he's probably was talking to his son and was like, yo, what's the slang in skateboarding? Like, I want to put some words in skateboarding. And he, at the end of his verse, he says like, getting smacked is good for you like barley food. Villain go Hollywood and still be gnarly dude. And like people, you know, like skateboarders, like sometimes says like gnarly dude, that was gnarly. But yeah, kickflip off the beat track, like kickflip is a trick on skateboards, like probably the most well known. And then the shoes, and I put them on, and I put them on really loose. And in one lyrics, in one song, he says, looser than a pair of Adidas. I hope you bought your spare tweeters. MC sound like cheerleaders. Man, that guy, I don't know what to do with him, because like I can't get his shit out of my head at all. Like, I try to listen to other people, I try to listen to other rappers, and Keo, the artist that did the very first Doomsday album, he was saying something like he's meeting kids these days, like young kids that only listen to Doom, you know? And I was like, fuck, I'm doing the same shit. Like I listen to other music too, but there's something about it that I'm always keep coming back, because there's something always more to study in his music. Living off borrowed time, the clock tick faster. That'll be the hour they knock the slick blaster. Dick Dastard and Leah Muttley with sick laughter. A gunfight and they come to cut the mix master. Like, everything is so dense and so lyrically fucking, like, you can't add anything and you can't take anything away, you know? Like, living off borrowed time, you know, and he's mentioning everything. Like, I've done things like taking his lyrics and translated them in Lithuanian, and then made a beat, flowed onto the beat with what I've translated. It wasn't word for word, but the kind of main theme was like there, and I was like, shit, man, this makes total sense. Like that's how I'm studying the guy, because it sounds so good. It sounds so like stable and raw, and like he's saying whatever's like that's dirty on his mind and shit, and like the way he created the characters, you know. I'm like, how the fuck do you create a character? Like, how do you separate yourself from the character? Or maybe you look at yourself and the way you are, and then you go, nah, I want to be completely different. To me, I want the character to be different, or whatever, you know. What else? What other lyrics? Give it a sec for the pain to start. This wreck right here, it ain't for the faint of heart. They thought they saw the worst verse from a team of G-men who seemed like nerds at first. Once they get to know us, people dig us. Lead us in the fight for equal rights for brothers. The mentor of the more dementeder flow, nobody doubted. Disco if you bout it, or rowdy. Whatever's clever, the master foe, whoever you hooker, heard her, but now, oh no. Like, I just think he used, like, I don't know how, like, I'm always trying to figure out how artists come up with their lyrics. And in one interview, he said, like, he's like, Lord knows I tried to sit down and just write down lyrics. But he's like, you gotta catch it, you know? You gotta catch it when it's floating through, when it's flying through. You gotta catch the fucking thought and write it down and jolt it down. And you know, I gotta say the most inspiring thing that he said, which is follow your heart, you know, and follow it all the way through. People might not know what you're trying to say or trying to do because it's a new thing that you're doing. If it's a new thing, if you're not copying any other cat, any other man or woman, as he said, it's like, people will, if you follow it all the way through, people will see what you're trying to do at the end of it. But you gotta go all the way till the end of it, you know? Because otherwise it won't work. But you gotta believe it and go all the way through, and then people will know. And everybody's a unique individual, and everybody's got something unique to share with the world, you know? So follow your heart. That's the number one rule. What else did he say? He said, do you. Very easy to remember. Do you. Nobody else can do you, just you. Nobody else has that job, only you. So I think it really pays off to invest in yourself and look at yourself as a separate being from who you really are. Like look at yourself as a separate being and think, what do I want for this being? What's the best thing that I want for him or her? And do it, you know? Like, create a story, create something, create some storyline or whatever, and live it out, you know? Like, live it. Like, I don't know, about me, like, fuck, I love Doom. I used to love drinking. I used to love smoking weed. I don't do none of that. I'm still super into his music. Like, I'm not, he talks about drinking and smoking weed, but at the end of the day, that shit will kill you. And in some, I think even Keo said that in some decisions where he should have used like word evil, he changed the word evil into live, because he didn't want the kids to think that he's evil or something, or just look at that plan as evil, because it was something about unleashing the evil plan of Doom onto the world, and he wanted to change the letters from evil to live. Obviously evil and live, evil backwards is live. So yeah. So he was like, and also on the Food album, the first draft of the album was, he had a spliff in his mouth, the graphic of the album, and he asked to remove the spliff so the kids wouldn't see it and think, oh, he's a smoker or like whatever. I don't know why he removed it, but still I think that he was conscious of who's gonna see what and who's gonna hear what. But the lyrics, man, like, how do you... But that's the thing. I think what he did is what he's telling us to do, which is follow your heart. Like, yeah, when I write lyrics, when I write my lyrics and I read them and I hear my music, I'm like cringing, I'm like, fuck, this is bullshit, and then I try to focus on other people and what other people are saying, and they're like giggling, they're like laughing, and I'm like, that's what matters. Like, they're laughing, so they're finding this entertaining, they're catching my vibe. Like, I read some lyrics to a woman I was talking to recently, and she was like, this is, and the lyrics were like so out of this world. And she was like, I think these lyrics. I was like, what do you think this means? Because I was like, I don't know what the fuck this means. And she was like, I think it's about reaching your goals. I was like, what, girl? I'm like, I was talking about like some crazy shit. Like, I don't even remember what I was talking about. But she like got the feeling of it, because I'm always about reaching your goals. Because I'm like, I don't really believe in myself, And Doom even said in one of the interviews that he's like, I'm a depressed motherfucker. Like, I get depressed all the time. So I feel him, Like, from that depression comes creativity. Whatever you do, you go have a coffee, you go drink, you go smoke, you take some pills, you snort some coke, and you don't feel happy, and you feel that it doesn't make you happy. So what you end up doing is like, you end up creating more lyrics, and that becomes your high. You want to create more outrageous stuff and thrive in that and be like, happy in that, because nothing else makes you happy. So if you're depressed, that's the fuel for, that's the fuel for everything else. That's the fuel for creating life, creating more life, 'Cause you gotta get depressed, you gotta get sad, you gotta get down. Because how else are you gonna make some shit? Because that makes you stop and think about things. And when you think about things, you're like, here's some ideas, here's some thoughts that you're like, shit, this is pretty profound what I'm thinking about. Like, I should write this down. Oh, maybe I should make a song. Maybe I should find some words that would rhyme with that shit. And I always find that, like, whenever I write it down, and I record it basically instantly. And then after a while, I'm like, shit, this needs fixing, fuck. And I give it to someone, and I'm like, I'm gonna fix some things. And this one girl said, like, yeah, but then it's not gonna be flowy, the energy of that time is gonna mix with energy of this time, and it's not gonna be genuine. So, like, I'm thinking, shit, if I'm tweaking something, I just need to tweak a tiny bit, so I wouldn't leave the energy that was in there, If you know what I mean? Any of this makes any sense? But I've learned a lot from this guy. Like, just listening to him, listening to his music, like, I'm literally speaking to him. I was listening to the interview with I don't remember his name, but he was the head of one of the labels. I think he was responsible for Elektra at some point, but he was a good friend of, or he was like, I don't know, he was like a friend, but he was somehow responsible for some shit. But he was Doom's friend, and then when they got dropped, the KMD, his group, before he became Doom, he got dropped from Elektra Records. I think the guy, because Doom's brother died, and it was a really difficult time for him. But he was talking to Doom, and he was like saying, I never seen Doom like cry, shed a tear over his brother, you know? And one day, I don't know, maybe I'm making this shit up, like the story, but the bottom line was that he was like missing Sabrak, his brother, and he said something like, oh, it would be so cool if Sabrak was here to listen to this. And Doom was like, just looked at him, and he was like, he's right here with us right now. And that shit, man, like that gives me chills every time, because it's like he knew, you know, like he knew in his metal head that this world is just visionary world, you know. It's all about vision. It's all about feeling. It's all about touching. It's all about, you know, experiencing, smelling, like taking drugs and experiencing other dimensions. And then you're like, get used to this fact that you want to see the person all the time. You want to see him live, you know. You want to touch him. You want to hug him. You want to be with him, you know, or her. And when they go, and when the aliveness of them is gone, you have the memory of them. But sometimes you're like, when I'm creating, like when I'm painting, when I'm drawing, I feel my grandfather's hand like leading my hand, and like the lines that I'm doing, it's like his lines, you know. And then I realized that his lines weren't his lines. His lines was somebody else's lines from back in the day. And just the line, you know, just the line, the word, the beat, somebody's dictating you every second. Somebody's dictating you some shit. And all you gotta do is listen. You gotta listen, and you gotta just listen. And as Doom said too in one interview, he was like, what's your favorite quote, or what's your favorite like saying, or do you have a phrase, like what's your favorite phrase? And he thought about it, and he was like, my favorite phrase is probably shut the fuck up. And I was like, what? Like, dude, like there gotta be a better phrase. Like I was thinking that he was gonna like come back with some I don't know, like, you know, the world is like, blah, blah, life is like, you know. He was just like, shut the fuck up. He's like, and you know why? You got 2 eyes, 2 ears, 2 nostrils, you know, 1 mouth. Breathe, motherfucker. Like, breathe. You know, you're talking so much, you're not even breathing. Like, you gotta listen. Like, you gotta smell, you gotta breathe. You gotta see things, you know. Only 1 mouth, you know, so shut the fuck up. You know? I was like, well, so true. You know, I talk a lot on these podcasts, I don't know, like, I was listening to this, I was listening to, again, Kyo, the artist of the first album, and he was like, the cover of the album, he was saying like, Doom was working on 15 different projects at the same time, and talking about 20 other projects. And he was like bored of rapping, tired of rapping and shit. But he still made music, played music and shit. And like the way Kyo talks about art, and the way he talks about how Doom used to draw, you know, he was like, is good at everything, you know. And I think that's another point to mention is you're not supposed to limit yourself, you know. You can be anything and everything. You can be, you know, anything you want. Like I can put on a mask, I can put on Doom's mask. I can pretend to be Doom, you know. Like you can put on any mask that you want. Nobody can tell you what to do. So you decide what to do. Like, let's try to remember some more lyrics. Now I said the word lyrics, and I just remember got more lyrics than the church got. Ooh lords, and he hold the mic in your attention like two swords, or you the one with two blades on it. Hey you, don't touch the mic like it's AIDS on it. Fuck. And I remember listening to KMD song, and I think the lyrics went, catching mad bodies like AIDS. And I was like, you're referencing yourself from back in the day. Cause like, I don't know, I don't listen to many rappers, but I don't think I ever heard a rapper talk about AIDS, you know? And it's important, you know? It's an important thing that happened in the world. And I don't know, it was just like, I think he just took all the most important words and put it all together, you know. But it's not even about the words, that's the thing. The words are there to show his skill and his thought process, and his, you know, expression is through words and through beats. But the energy, you know, like you feel the energy is different, you know. The energy that he has, he's the villain, he's the super villain, but he's just a regular guy, you know. Like what I feel is like the regular guy is the super villain. Like if you're a regular dude or a girl, you're the super villain, because like people want these days, this day and age, people want to be like, you're left wing, you're right wing, you're, you know, fucking you're an artist, you're not an artist. This is good, this is bad, you know. And what he was, and I was reading what Jasmine wrote about his on his birthday in 2025. She said he was born on the day 13, and it's apparently considered as an unlucky number. But you got 6 on one side, you got 6 on the other, and you got 1 in the middle. And you were always talking about balance, you know. And when you listen to his music, you can feel the balance, you know. You can feel how everything is like weighted up, and it's not it's not always talking about one theme,